Hey, welcome back to Cauldron Conversations with the Quill and Cauldron. I'm Melissa.
I'm Carrie.
Why don't you brew your potion, pull up a chair, and step into the magic with us? Today we're starting off our, I guess we did our intro already, but it's the official first video of our tarot series. It's basically Tarot 101. You're not going to get like uber in-depth stuff with us. It's going to be, just friendly, beginner friendly, and stuff that you feel like you can manage if you want to join along with us.
Exactly. This is all for fun, and we're just learning each card by card, and we're going to give some history about the card and about the numbers and put it all together. But it's not going to be the most in-depth education you're ever going to get from us because we're not even there that ourselves. We're learning this
And all
just as
decks
much
are
as you.
different.
Yes,
Yep.
and all decks are different. We just want to do the baseline of the meaning of each card. As long as you know the meaning,
Yes.
you can apply that to all and every deck. As always, with all the episodes that we are going to do, please take what resonates and leave the rest.
Yep.
And if you've liked what you've watched, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the all where that bell button is when you subscribe. And in today's episode, we're talking about the anatomy of the tarot. And we're starting with the Fool's card.
Yep.
So, Melissa, when you got your first tarot deck, what was it? And what did you think when you opened it up and got started?
So mine was somewhere in the mid 90s. So I got the Rider-Waite deck, and I got my book that went along with that specific deck. It was really intimidating. It is a lot. It is a lot of cards, and I am not good with memorizing. I have never been good at memorizing things. So I think I was overall intimidated at first with excitement, but definitely
With excitement, of course. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I was quite intimidated, but I think that's how a lot of people start. It is a lot. Yeah. There's 78 cards. Each card has a different picture. Each card has different meanings. There's 4 suits. There's all kinds of stuff. But you just had to keep in mind, like, everybody starts with zero knowledge. It's going to grow with time. You don't need to worry about memorizing anything. I'm sure, Carrie, when you started, you knew none of it or didn't memorize anything before starting.
No, for me, I don't know. It's like starting a new job, right? So that's
Right.
kind of how the concept it made me feel when I started this. I finished the class at the end of June with Vanessa, and we started in November. And she's like, I would do like a month course if I could, but there's 78 cards in here, and they're so in depth. And I'm going to take you to the deepest depth that I can at a first time level beginner class. She's like, I'm going to be doing middle and then advanced at some point. So if you ever want to come back, you can, but we're going to deep dive. And she made it so much fun because she got into character with the cards. So when it came to death, she painted her face. When it came to the high priestess, she looked like a high priestess. I mean, she really got into all of it, and she's been doing it for 40 years. So it just flows from her, and she just exudes this easy form of teaching, understanding, layman's terms, all of it. And she makes it fun. And so it was intimidating, awesome. Even with that setup, because you're just like, there's so much about these cards, because it's not just a card, which we know the history because you gave us an awesome history in the last episode, but they have the numbers attached to them. So that's spirituality, right? And then they have the pictures, which again is explaining, it's storytelling, but it's also spirituality. And then we have, what do the symbols mean, which again is spirituality. You have the pentacles, you have the wands, you have the cups, and you have the swords. And then you have, like you said, 0 is the Fool, but then ace through the end of the actual page, knight, queen, king. But you get to tie that all together. And then you have the higher, the minor arcana. Am I saying that right? Please forgive me if I'm not. And then we have the major arcana, I do believe. Yep. And it's so funny because I was learning this from a beautiful woman who's in Australia. She has her accent. So I thought I seriously thought for the first video, I think we even started with the wands. I thought she kept saying ones, ONES. ones instead of wands. Do you know what I mean? Because of her accent.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Did you look at the deck yet?" I'm like, "Sorry, no." Because no one, no one's perfect. This is not perfection. This is learn as you go and
Right.
grow. And so she's like, "Open the deck, Carrie," and I'm like, "Oh, wands." I'm, so it's so, and she's just like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've heard worse about my accent." And she has a beautiful accent. There's nothing wrong with her accent. But what my American ears heard was ones, not wands. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of
Right.
learning. Even hearing it from other people can change your perception. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was
Right.
completely intimidated, and I still wish. I wish I could say I'm an expert after 6 months, but I'm not. This is lifelong learning. I truly believe it's lifelong learning.
How many do you think you've actually memorized now? I still can honestly say maybe 2 or 3. Or well, no, okay. That's a lie, Melissa. I would say it's probably easier to kind of get to know the major arcana because it's just an individual card with a theme. And then you have the 4 suits, and within the 4 suits, you have 1 through king. So it's like, so then there's the themes of the suits. So it's like there's so many.
But then there's the elements on top of the themes.
And elements, yes. So it's like.
And then numbers.
So don't burden yourself thinking, oh my God, I have to memorize all this. You guys don't. You don't have to memorize anything. You never have to memorize it. You'll learn it and remember, but you don't have to memorize anything.
No, and I feel you shouldn't.
Especially with the beauty of the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you just Google it.
And it might take a life situation too to lock it in.
But it's important, I think, at least to start with the Rider-Waite deck because of the fundamental suits and their meanings. Because you mentioned already there's swords, wands, not wands. Pentacles and cups. But like in my Nightmare Before Christmas deck, it's presents instead of cups. And instead of pentacles, it's what is it? It's like candles instead of wands, and instead of swords, it's needles. So like each deck can change what the suit is, but it's still the swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. So it's like the roots are still there. So it is important to at least memorize the suits.
No, that is quite helpful.
Kind of stuff. So as we have discussed on a previous episode, there are a total of 78 cards, and these cards are broken up into 2 arcanas. There's the major and the minor. The major has 22 cards in it, and the minor has 56. So understanding these 2 is really the first big step towards learning tarot in general.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you. We've printed out our Appendix A, which Melissa is going to have a link for you to, so there's no memorization involved. You can just print this out, and we're going to go over the, what is this one? The Major Arcana, which has the 22 cards, because the minor has the 56. So this is what they are. We're starting with this one today. Again, it's the Fool. We're going to go deep dive into this, but these are the Major Arcana. We have the Fool, the Magician, and the Fool starts at 0. Okay, and then we'll work our way down. So the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. And that's 0 through 21. But if you included the Fool as a 1, it'd be 22. Yes, but there are 22 there.
Yep. And then it will be me to introduce the Minor Arcana. So there's 56, so I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But there's an appendix for this that I will also upload links to. Again, we promised you guys no memorization, so there is no memorization. We will provide resources. Do not worry. So the Minor Arcana is broken up into 4 suits, just like a regular deck of playing cards. Your tarot card has 4 suits. There's wands, cups, swords, and Pentacles. And I am also reading notes here. So each suit has its own base meanings as well. Wands is associated with fire, normally represents creativity, action, energy, ambition. So obviously, if you get a lot of wands in your reading, it's creativity, action, that kind of stuff. Cups is water, and it represents your emotions, intuitions, relationships, spiritual experiences. Swords is air. It represents intellect, logic, communication, and challenges. And then last, we have pentacles associated with earth. And pentacles usually represent wealth, finances, career, and physical health. So each suit has cards 1 through kings. 1 through 10, I actually learned this, are called PIP cards, PIP. I did not know that.
Oh, what does that stand? Does that stand for anything? PIP?
I don't think so. I think it's just
Oh,
PIP.
wow. I'll have to look that up.
I wonder, I wonder if it's like an older terminology kind of thing that just carried on. But these are the numbered cards that are 1 through 10, and they usually tell us a developmental story. The ace represents like a seed or the beginning of the suit's element, while the 10 signifies the culmination or like your final result. And then your court cards are your page, knight, queen, and kings. These generally represent specific people, personality traits, or archetypes operating within the suit's domain.
So to recap, the Major Arcana explain, and I'm going by my notes, the cards represent the life's biggest lessons, milestones, and transformations. And the Minor Arcana, which again, the major are 22 Major Arcana, big, major, huge, powerful cards in the deck, by the way. And the aces, I learned this through all my studies, are the biggest yes cards in the deck. So if you get an ace, it means yes. And the Sun is one of the biggest yes cards in the deck, which I loved. I learned, I love learning all these little tidbits because it really does help in when you're doing your spread.
Exactly.
And then the Minor Arcana, which are 56, okay, all the suits. These cards represent everyday life, decisions, relationships, work, emotions, and experiences. And that's why you need to know, again, not memorizing because it's all through practice. Practice doesn't make perfection, it makes progress. We don't do perfection on this show. So progress. Nope. No.
I don't think we can do perfection with perimenopause. No, it's not possible.
No, I think I have about 50 million brain farts on a regular occasion now. And then some days it's like squirrel. Yeah. So I think you're all getting some good information here from two perimenopause chicks.
Yep. That's why we write it down and we will share.
Exactly. And we want to share. So that's why you have the links so you can go back. Because if you're going through perimenopause, you have your brain fog and you'll have your brain farts and you'll be like, what? I wanted to do something, but then I did 16 other things. And what the hell was I on the computer for? You'll be there. So now you have the links.
Yes.
We are going to go as we go per each card throughout this series because we're going to cover all of them, what each one means. We'll get into deep dive, the colors, the numbers, whatever. But again, no memorization, just this is an overall view. And then you take what resonates and leave all the rest. And then we'll give you an educational type of, hey, let's help resonate this more by doing some homework by the end of each video. And this is going to be on, we're going to be explaining the Major Arcana, but we're going to also put it in Appendix C.
So if you've had a chance, go ahead and check out Appendix C. It'll give each Major Arcana a brief, like a few word core meaning. So if you take a look at the list as a whole, you can see that there is a progression there. It kind of starts with learning, growth. You see cards that could represent challenges, change, reflection, transformation, and then completion. So the World is the ending card because if you think about it, the World always leads to new beginnings. There's new beginnings all over the world. I mean, yes, it's always turning, always changing. So there's always something about to happen. So, and then with the court cards, if you look, these are again uh, minor arcana. There's the pages, knights, queens, kings, and it's in each of the four suits. Pages represent the learners, the messengers, the observers, curiosity, new beginnings, childlike open mindedness.
Mm-hmm.
Knights are the doers and seekers. They represent action, movement, passion, pursuit of goals. Um, Queens are your nurturers, the mothers, the masters. They represent internal focus, caretaking, creativity. Um, and it says mastery of the suit's energy.
Yep.
So again, a queen can show up in any of the four suits. Kings are the leaders and the protectors. They represent authority, control, external mastery, and decision making. So these cards can represent, again, people, personal traits, personality traits, all that kind of stuff, or even different approaches to situations. And again, we already mentioned the four suits. So now it's what about the numbers?
And we all know how Carrie loves the
Yeah,
numbers.
Carrie loves the numbers.
Okay. So I'm going to read this off because, it's 1 through 10. And I'm having a typical perimenopause brain fart. So it's best to read the notes.
Yes, yes.
So ace, like I was saying before, I do remember and do know that ace is number 1. And it also, whenever you pull an ace, it is the biggest yes card in the deck. But ace, number 1, means new beginnings, pure potential, and raw opportunities. So I love the aces. They're very good cards. They're all great cards, but I love seeing it because it's like, yes, it means yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
new beginnings, yes, new potential, yes to all the opportunities. And then two is always a decision-making card. Think of 2 of swords, think of the lover's card, 2s, right? So balance, duty, partnership, the moment of choice. Choice is choosing 2. 3, growth, expansion, and collaboration. Think teams of 3 sometimes. Like if you pull that card, you'll see 3 people, 3 of pentacles, normally 3 of something. So growth, expansion, collaboration. 4, I always think of a house, the roof and the 4 walls, right? Foundation, foundation, foundation. So for 4, it's structure, stability, and foundations. 5 means big changes. And I actually texted Melissa last week because I was driving past the gas station, and on the gas, the price was $5.55. Crazy expensive. It was diesel, but that's a sign. Change is coming, change is coming, change is coming. So 5 is conflict, could be change of conflict, could be change, challenge, and instability. But also could be, it doesn't have to be conflict. It depends on what you get with that 5. 5 of wands, 5 of swords, 5 of cups, 5 of pentacles. Pentacles are grounding, foundation, money, could be voting, there's so many things with pentacles. It just depends on the situation and they ask the question.
In the moment, yes.
In the moment, for sure. The energy surrounding all that. 6, harmony, communication, cooperation, and recovery. 7, favorite number 7, reflection, assessment, inner spiritual knowledge. I love 7s. 8, I got 8 on my arm. We have, it's infinity, right? But we also have movement, action, and personal power. That kind of makes sense. Action, movement, personal power, but the infinity sign as well. 8 is a very good symbol of that. 9s, you're about to complete the chapter. You're not there yet. You're almost there, but it's fulfillment, it's attainment, and the final push before the end, which is 10s, which is completion, results, endings, and the promise of a new cycle, which then 1 or 0 would become again, which is the Fool. So you start again, but it's brilliant when you lay this all out, and the colors, the numbers, the storyline, and the question all produce that story or the higher self information of like, this is your little bit of a map. This is where you can go, but don't forget you have free will, and let's think critically. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So these numbers, they often carry similar themes all across every suit. So that's why you can use the foundation per every themed new card. The Nightmare Before Christmas, I have Outlander. There's angels over there, and the Gilded Tarot, and then the Rider-Waite.
They make nerdy ones, guys. If you want nerdy,
so cool.
They got nerdy. I got World of Warcraft. I mean, come on.
There's got to be Lord of the Rings and all that stuff.
Nerdier
Star
than
Wars.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have. I mean, the Headless Horseman. I have Hocus Pocus, the Last Unicorn from the 80s, like
I love that.
all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever resonates you, and that's good too. So like you can get a gift of a tarot and you love it and you use it, but if you go out and you're like we were saying before in the last episode, if you're drawn to it, get it because you're meant to
Yes.
have that. And they're not that dear. And if you do get them on Etsy, they can be a little more dear, but that person took the time and effort to etch it, sketch it out, color it in, all the things. So, you got to give them
Yes.
what they're due.
You're
Yeah.
paying for their artwork, and they are
You're paying
definitely
for their
do
art.
that.
Yeah. And now we want to do the whole spotlight of this episode is the Fool. So
Hey.
we've already started with zero.
And if you have
is
your deck, go ahead and pull yours out.
Go pull your
I
card
have
out.
mine.
I love that
I
with
have
Jack.
my Jack.
Mine's already.
And mine
I'll
is
be
very
changing mine up.
scratched. Like I actually am looking at mine in different lighting, and I'm like, wow, that looks like that has been pulled quite a few times.
Yeah, and my deck is getting, I don't know about you, but I have corners that are starting to bend, and I hate that because I don't want it to rip and tear. So, yeah, when you're done using them, it's loved though, and you just need to make sure you put
mine
it
is well loved.
Either back in the card, or you can have a nice silky or whatever type of cloth bag, whatever bag you want, and then you can put that in a box, but make sure you take good care of them because don't forget, it's the energy stays within the cards and it's how you treat them. You know what I mean? You always want to treat them well. Okay, so you can even see on the card, it says 0, the start of the Fool's journey. Again, like I said, trust in it. It's a leap of faith. Change is always good. You have free will, but I don't know if do you remember the TV show? I think it was on Nickelodeon. I forget what it was, but it was Bon Qui Qui. Do you remember this character? Oh my God. I can't remember the show. I'll have to ask the kids. But it was so funny. They did a skit at Burger King. I used to work at Burger King in my junior year in high school. And she always, Trevor, I use this all the time. You know how you have your slang words and your little, your sentiments and the things you say in your relationship? It wasn't all. No, I don't know, to be honest. I can't. Perimenopause. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember the saying when she goes, "Now make it your own way, but don't be crazy." I love that. So we do that all the time. So in this case, make it your own way, but don't be crazy with the Fool, because you do need to have common sense, critical thinking. Yes. Don't just jump off a cliff. Take it as a leap of faith. You want to spread your wings and take the jump, but let's have some safety nets. Okay. Let's think critically. Let's do stuff on a lower scale. Don't just go, the card says, and I'm doing it. No, you have to make critical decisions. You have to take the next. I always tell my kids, think 10 steps ahead. So when you have that decision, try to foresee the next 10 steps. If you make that decision, what is the outcome? There's always cause and effect, right? So, in this case, the Fool's journey, which is what we're all on every day of our lives, maybe month to month, year to year, quarter to quarter, hour to hour, whatever do your life, whatever works for you, right? Yeah. But it's the continuing story of the beginning of the next chapter. Now, the chapters go through the 0 to what we just said, all the major 22 in that sense, but then the other cards fill out the story of the help from the higher self, the spirit guides, etc., and helping you with that question, that wonder, that ponder, that fork in the road, right? So for me, the Fool, I started the Fool's journey again by moving here where I'm living now. I started the Fool's journey by taking on a whole new position. I've been a project manager in my businesses and things like that, of course, but never with the title. I've done it in so many different ways throughout all the jobs and the careers I've started, but I've never just had it as like an actual title. Now I'm in project management as a title with this new job, and I absolutely love it. But I'm on my Fool's journey because I'm learning so much about this industry that I'm a part of as a project manager, but I don't know everything. And to me, that's life, right? Right. It's the same thing. So the Fool is a perfect way the only way to start the journey of anything, any new chapter, any new adventure, move, etc. And then you're going to describe to us the meanings behind it. Again, just to reiterate what this great card starts every journey with.
Exactly. So, as we've mentioned, it is the number 0 card. Mine actually doesn't have a number on it, but that's okay. I know the Fool is 0. New beginnings. 0 is the beginning. It is the base point 0. Curiosity, adventure, potential, that's all there for us in the Fool card.
Yeah, it's so like life because you start off with whatever and then you meet people, places, things that
Yes.
changes your journey. That changes your thought process. That changes like, oh, I didn't know about that. Let me look into it. And that could just change your whole it's just fascinating, isn't it? I just think
Yep.
it's fascinating.
So don't forget, the Fool is not an insult. The name is not at least in tarot, it is not an insult.
Right.
People can use it as an insult, but the Fool
Yeah.
card, the name itself is not, it's not any kind of an insult when you get it. It is representing a beginning. So Carrie, what is a time, and I know you have a few as we all do, where you felt really unfamiliar, like you were definitely the Fool from tarot?
Yeah, so we've been in our new state for 15 months now. But when you live in another state for almost all of your mid adult life, right? I got there at 32 and I moved here at 52. So it's such a different stages in my life. I did so much in my 30s and 40s
Yes.
compared to what I'm doing now in my 50s. It just fascinates me. But we literally have moved to an area where we've never lived before. We're about almost an hour away from all our family and friends. And we wanted a whole different climate. So we're more to the coast. And we just wanted to have a whole change of life experience because we've already done it in our 20s and our 30s and 40s. So we are even the extra optimist of a fool because we're like, let's just try it. Like, you don't know until you do anything. So you have to try it. That's the whole point of life. Life is about living. So we left a southern state because it's just so, for me, it was just too hot. I mean, there
Yeah.
was multiple reasons, but going through perimenopause that started 3 years ago at 49, I'm like, you just can't rip your skin off after you get naked. You just can't get any cooler, like, so I mean, I
Mhm.
wanted to rip my arms off and beat myself to death because I just couldn't take the heat anymore. You walk out and you're drenched, it's just too much. And then
Yep.
our kids had moved on, like they had finished their
Yes.
part of their teenage going into 20, new beginning of 20 somethings. And so they literally were becoming empty nesters. We still have
Yep.
one with us, but we're kind of like half empty nesters, half not. Still in that zone a little bit. But he's almost 22, so we are, but we're not. He just comes
Yeah.
and goes, and
He's
we're still
independent
working on that.
enough. Yeah.
Independent enough, but he still needs a
Right.
little bit of guidance. Yeah.
Right.
So we have that. And then we wanted, Trevor's still in his job and I got into a new job. I left bookkeeping that I opened 2 years ago because I love numbers, everybody. I keep saying how much I love numbers, but bookkeeping bores me to freaking death. After 2 years of it, I was like, I love and appreciate numbers and numbers never lie. But
Sorry.
it's fine. As a career, for me, boring as hell. To everyone who appreciates
Yes.
and loves bookkeeping, all the power to you. It just was not for me. So I needed to get back out. I needed to get out of the house. I needed to find another position. And I always have done project management, but never as a title and as a certain industry. It's always been different
Right.
things, all combined into the actual career I was doing at the time. So that's my new journey there. And I've talked about that already on this episode. But moving here, very quick story. Okay, so there's no we used to be realtors, Melissa and I know that industry regardless what state you live in. You can look it up. It's easy, APR, see the inventory, all that jazz. And I knew coming here like the whole of the United States because in 2014, 6 years after the big blow up, the big bubble in 2008, they stopped producing the amount of homes that we used to have on a regular basis. So all of a sudden, here we are in 2026, no inventory, none. That's why the prices are through the freaking roof, absolutely astronomical, totally not affordable, and it's a freaking scam, in my opinion. It's outrageous. So when we're coming here, I knew I didn't want to buy another house because I wasn't sure of the location. Like, is this going to light us up? Are we going to really be
Right.
happy here? Do we want to be in this section? I always advise my clients, always have a look, go rent for a year, check out the area, see if you
Yes.
really feel comfortable there. If this is like where you really want to stay, or do you realize, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't invest in a house to go through the whole sale and all that other stuff. You can
Yep.
just finish your lease and move on. So that's what I advise, and that's what I do. I do what I say. So we went to look at 3 homes. Okay, we only had 3 homes to look at to rent when we came here over 15 months ago. And of course, with that amount of nothing, how many people are interested in those 3 homes? Too many, right? There's too many, not enough sellers, way too many buyers or renters.
Yeah.
And so we lost out on all those 3 properties. So after driving 15 hours here, we went home with nothing, but we still knew we wanted to move here. But I'm all about spirituality and the law of attraction, and I know what I put out, I get back. So I said, okay, Trevor, we were not meant to get those homes. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not going to slice and dice it and overanalyze it any more than that. Whatever we're meant to get, like all my good friends, including you, have said, if it's meant for you, it will align and happen. And I say that back to you as well, and everyone here. If it's meant for you, you align with that frequency, it'll happen so fast you'll spin your head because you'll be like, that was easy.
What?
It's because it was meant to happen. So you're all in line to that frequency, and it boom, you're there. So we drove home 15 hours after spending 4 days here trying to get a rental because you don't want to really move not knowing where you're going to live. Not a good idea. So we went home, and we're a bit in a little Debbie Downers, and we're like, well, maybe we're not meant to move right now. Maybe it's just not, it's not lined up. Maybe we have to wait another year. We didn't know, but we're still putting it out there that we wanted to move back to Massachusetts for all these reasons, and that we'd like to do it in the next it'd be 4 weeks to 8 weeks. We wanted to do it over the next month to 2 months because I did not want to spend another southern summer there. I could not go through it again. The last summer killed me. I couldn't do it again. So I'm like, I have to get the hell out. So even though I love areas of where we lived, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it again at this stage of my life with perimenopause. Just couldn't do it. So we got home like 2, 3 in the morning, went to bed, woke up the next day. We both had the day off because you just can't drive 15 hours and go back to work the next day. No way. And so we're like, let's just look online. Let's just see. And this house that we're renting right now popped up literally as we were looking online. It just literally said just now listed. I was like, holy shit,
nice.
This might be the house. So I looked through it all. I'm like, okay, it's not as much space as we wanted, but it's covering the basics. It's near where we want to be because we had to put Trevor in a certain space from work in order to ensure he gets to work from home. Because if you're too many miles close to work, they'll make you come in. But if you're far away, you can work from home. So we have to be so many miles out, like 25 miles away from his base of his work, which ironically, they don't work for that company anymore. They've been bought out and they closed down those offices. So it wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
So we had to look for that. And then we wanted to be near at least an hour, no more away from Luke's college. So we did that. And then I didn't care because I was working for myself. So it didn't apply to me. And then at the time anyway, but we did want to have central air. We wanted to have we need central air. We need to have this, and this, and you got to hit your points. Square footage wasn't there. The price was like $600 more a month than what we were paying before. Not psyched about that, but we're all screwed in this whole country. So it's what it is. Not that it's great and I don't applaud it. So we're just like, okay, it covers most of the bases. Is it something we can get right now? So I called my friend, and she also is a realtor, and I said, do you mind looking at this place? Because I'm not driving 15 hours tomorrow to check out this place. Can you make sure all the water's working, the things are turning on, all the things are working, do we have parking? Is it too loud? Is it all that stuff, And she went and she met with the realtor who listed this place. So she did a walkthrough, and she did a video walkthrough with us. So we got to see in live presence, the rooms in the house and everything, the layout. And I'm like, yeah, that will work for us. And she's like, Carrie, I would grab it. If you want this, I would grab it. Because I don't think you'll have another opportunity with how little is on the market. So I called the realtor and I said, she gave us the okay, we're happy. Can we do this? And she's like, yeah. And so we sent her the deposit the first and last months. And I had to get busy because I had Trevor having IT, he is all crazy all the time with that industry. Bookkeeping, you get it done and then you have time. So I had plenty of time to pack within 4 weeks. Okay. We had to get out in 4 weeks. That was hella crazy. And we did it. We managed it. And we've been here for 15 months. And we actually love where we're living. We love the area so much. We know we want to permanently stay here. Like, you have to do all the things. But what a fool's journey, because we didn't know if this would happen. But the minute that we said, yeah, that will work, it went, I can't snap my finger, but it went snap and like boom, boom, boom. It just all lined up. And that's because you were meant to be on it. And this is the start of my fool's journey moving here. Because moving
Yep.
is never fun. It can be, but it's never easy. And
No.
it's a lot of work. It's exhausting and a lot of planning.
Out of state, across state lines, which I have not done, but I imagine is way harder or way more complicated. Like
it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my quick, hopefully that was quick. That was my quick like fool's journey, because we literally just kept saying we're open. And that's what you have to be in life. We just like, we're not going to strangle this idea or strangle this idea to get to what we want, because you're actually strangling the energy behind that idea. If you're wishing, praying, and just like, it has to be this or nothing, it'll be nothing, because you're not receiving on that energy. You want to be like, I'm open. I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I know it is. And we'll just let it be. And it worked out.
Yep.
And it's been great.
Yeah, except that you're not here anymore. That's the only shitty part, but that's okay. I will come see you.
Yes. And when we go back, we'll, of course, visit you.
Obviously, yes.
Obviously. So after my long, hopefully short story, what was your leap of faith, Melissa? What was your fool's journey this year?
Well, as I've said, I think it was possibly my intro. We worked together online. Or virtual. And Carrie got fired by an avatar early on, in a room full of other avatars.
100 plus people via one avatar. Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually the first of many to come. But luckily I was able to quit on my own. But it was a lot of people probably saw it as a brash decision. I was doing quite well financially. I made really good hourly. I really loved the job. The company became extremely toxic, and it was becoming a job that I didn't enjoy going to anymore. And anybody with ADHD knows that once that starts, it just goes downhill and you need to get out. Like, before, like I would get to the point of, I would start just calling out of work for just because I didn't feel like it anymore. So like I have to, I am that, like, it is, if my job becomes boring or something I don't like, it's not good with ADHD or my ADHD, whatever.
Because you feel suffocated, right?
Yes.
And it's like the average, but probably tenfold. Yeah.
And with ADHD, for myself, I crave change. So like, I need change. Like I change my bedroom furniture every 6 months, maybe. I change my living room furniture seasonally. Like I need it. It's something that my brain requires. So this place became really toxic. I didn't really like it anymore. They kept laying people off unexpectedly, people that you had worked with for a really long time and built relationships with. So like one of them it was the final straw for me. And I gave my notice. So basically I quit my job without having another job lined up in this economy is quite scary. I have a mortgage. I have 3 kids. Well, 2 are dependent. 1 is an adult, but she lives with me and I support her as much as I can because she's going through college and she shouldn't have to support herself if she doesn't need to. And so I quit my job. And I ended up taking another job that was half of my pay. So financially, I have struggled for quite a while, but at the same time, I've always had a bit of money come in at the right time. So it's been working out. And then slowly I started substituting, and then I started with special needs, and I kind of found my niche of where I needed to be. And all of my card readings were reassuring me that you did the right thing, Melissa. That was the right thing. So my fool, quitting my job without another job. So, but that's a big I made a point, and I wrote kind of a fuck you, goodbye, and I posted it in my public chat of my company before I just said peace and I left and I didn't look back. So that was definitely my most the biggest one that I've had recently, I guess, within the past like year or so.
Which is a huge transition. You should be so proud of yourself.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I did it.
and you wouldn't have known that if you didn't do what you did. You'd just be miserable now because
Right.
you'd be still stuck there.
Right. Right.
Same with me.
Yep.
If I didn't move, because I had been wanting to move for 10 years, 10 freaking years. That's a long time to want to move, but you can't because you're locked
Yeah.
into a school system. You're locked into your kids having their own lives and everything. You can't, unless you're a horrible, mean person and you're just like, or I shouldn't say that
Selfish
because that's not true.
narcissist. Yeah.
There's that. But I mean, there's people who are military and all this stuff. You just have to move. So I don't want to knock
Yes.
those people or
Yes.
anything, but you know what I mean? Like if you don't care about your kids and you do whatever, then you just do it. But I didn't want to do that to them because I moved when I was a kid in between fourth grade to fifth grade, and those are very big development.
Yes.
Oh my God, perimenopause, developmental
Yes.
years, and you have like this big, massive break in what your routine is and the people you're hanging out with and all that you knew since you went to start school and kindergarten, and here you are in a whole new town
Right.
and whole new people, and you're the new girl. It's never fun to be the new girl or the new guy. It
Right.
it kind of is exciting, but it's also intimidating, anxiety ridden, and
You get a
who
lot of
knows what.
attention. Yes.
Yeah, and it might be unwanted attention. So,
Yes.
I didn't want to do that to our kids when they were like in high school. Like that's even harder, I think. Middle school sucks, but it can just get harder. And so we're like, we'll wait. And then after this, he's in college, so I'm like, I really don't need to wait anymore. And I just couldn't do one more day of 100+ degree heat. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So there was multiple reasons on top of that as well, but I'm much happier where I am now than, I loved where I lived before, not knocking that, but I'm at this stage at 52 in my life. This is where I'm meant to be for sure.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So as you can tell, the Fool, one card has many faces. This is just two stories between two people. Imagine if you had a room of 10 people just sharing one story.
Right.
Because in life, we all become the Fool multiple times. So last episode, we both pulled our Fool cards and kind of we showed them and said what we saw, what it means, stuff like that. So, and we also told you or asked you last week to get a deck if you saw one, or pull, like, just, see if you could pull a card. So I'm hoping some of you might have. And if so, what was your first impression when you looked at it? What stood out the most to you, or what did you like the most? What message do you think this card showed you at the moment? What advice do you think you would give someone who pulled that card? And lastly, can this card relate to anything to you or in your life right now? Please comment below and let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we definitely want to know. I know I did funny voices sometimes, but sometimes that's just what I do. But we're really curious. Yeah. What makes us fun. But
Exactly.
no, we really want to know because I love hearing people's stories. I love reading tarot for other people and getting reactions. So I would love to know if anybody has done anything and what you've learned or what you saw.
Exactly, because like we're all the same in the sense of the human race, but we're not on the same in the sense of how we think or how we perceive things.
Right.
You could look at the same movie, ask the same question, and get 10 different results. So it's the same with getting into tarot. The meanings and the numbers and the colors and all of the wands and everything all mean that one thing, but your questions will be different. Your journey will be different from ours. Your results will be different. Everything's different. Your emotions at the time when you pulled that card is different. Like it all changes, so that changes the outcome. But always remember you have free will. So from learning all of that and checking out the Fool, we wanted to then give you another fun cauldron homework assignment. If you're up for the challenge, this is all what you want. You don't have to do anything. We just thought it'd be fun to just suggest things and help you learn because it's progress, never perfection. So that is why we're like, if you actually do it, you'll learn from it. If you don't do it, that's your choice. No harm, no foul.
Yep.
So our homework that we are suggesting, you can separate your tarot deck into major and minor arcana and start looking into them if you choose. You can sort the minor arcana into the 4 suits, really understand and Google if you don't have any tarot. You can even just, I think you told us before, you have got on and done like tarot card pulls virtually. You found a site to do that without actually owning
I
cards. Have you
have
done
not.
that?
No,
Okay.
no. That would be pretty cool though.
I didn't know if there could be something like that. I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
But you can easily Google each suit and look
Yeah.
up each picture. If you don't have the money to actually go out and buy your own deck,
Yes.
you can look it up and look up the meaning because that's easily done.
Yeah.
Because that's how I've
Yep.
learned too. What is this deck?
Yep.
What's the meaning behind it? What's the number? And then I got my own to shuffle, use, touch, experience, etc. Then you could practice identifying each suit without looking at the guidebook once you feel comfortable. And you could choose one of your favorite cards based on the artwork and write it down. Like, what drew you to that card? What question do you think, or what do you think the meaning behind that card is that drew you to that card? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know the meaning, but it's just like, I have to know the meaning of this, it might be resonating with your higher self, your intuition telling you something. So that's pretty cool too,
Yeah.
because it's always energy. Whatever your energy is that's connecting to that card, pull it, find out why.
Yep. And again, we call it homework, but it's fun. This isn't like mandatory. You don't have to do this before the next episode. It's just if you are curious in doing this kind of stuff yourself, we do encourage you to go along with us. So for next week's episode, next week in our cauldron, we're going to be diving into the heart of the deck, the Major Arcana. So we'll explore the 22 cards and the themes behind them, how they fit together in the journey that we've mentioned, the Fool's journey, starting with the Fool, ending with the World, and kind of their transformation. So we'll definitely be excited for you guys to join us next week. If this episode resonated with you at all, please like and subscribe. Though the conversation may be ending, the magic always flows.
Until next time, trust your intuition, follow the magic, and keep the cauldron brewing. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.